So today's film was the third film that was playing at the Midtown Art Cinema, directed by a woman this weekend. Been a great weekend. This was Crystal Moselle's Skate Kitchen, which is inspired by the true life stories of a crew of skaters in New York known as the Skate Kitchen, all of whom are in the film. So the story behind it is that Crystal Moselle was riding the train and overheard some girls talking about their wild and crazy night, and she just had to start talking to them, and because they were holding skateboards, and she needed to know more. This led to several years long friendship with these girls, and resulted in a short film for Miu Miu's Women's Tales, which I actually haven't seen. I need to look for. I'm actually really behind on the Miu Miu Women's Tales shorts. To be honest, I feel like I haven't seen any of the latest ones. It later got developed using conversations with the girls and sort of pulling from their lives. She developed this sort of hybrid documentary coming of age narrative, starring the girls not as themselves, but as girls similar to themselves, while also featuring some really amazing skateboarding. And one of the few professional actors in the film is actually Jaden Smith. He obviously is a professional actor, um, son of Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, and he was is a skateboarder and was a fan of one of the girls on Instagram, and then that led to him being cast in this film. So that's there you have it. Um, what was so wonderful about this film is the just raw energy of the um, the girls when they're skating, the girls when they're being friends, um, the sort of way in which their connection with each other just shines through with this amazing energy that they get from being friends with each other and from skating together and from finding a passion for life together. It's really remarkable and wonderful, and not something you often see in films. And even though there's some girl drama, because there's always girl drama, especially with teenagers, um, it's girl drama that makes sense, and it's girl drama that's sort of learning the lessons that all girls end up learning, all people end up learning. Um, and it feels natural, and its resolution feels natural, and I thought that was just wonderful. Um, the cinematography is by Sabier Kitchener, who, looking at their work now, has done a handful of things. They also shot the short for the Mew Mew short. It's so beautiful. Like, I don't think I've seen anything this year as awe-inspiring as the skate cinematography. Um, I was just like agape. I loved it so much. The energy of this film is just magnetic. Um, the main girl, her name is Camille. Camille. She's played by Rochelle Vinberg, who's a skateboarder, part of the Skate Kitchen. In this version of their lives, she lives in Long Island with a mother who doesn't quite understand her love of skating. And when she gets injured in her groin area after a skating accident, her mom asks her to promise never to skate again. And obviously, she's not going to not skate again. She's a skater. And she starts sneaking off to the city to meet these Skate Kitchen girls, and then slowly sort of rebels away from her mom after she turns 18 and starts living in New York and skating and finding, her place. However, she also finds a boy that she likes, and this is going to cause problems. But what I thought was great about that premise is, one, it's a universal premise because it's a universal thing that happens, and two, the way it's treated, you kind of hate the guy, but you don't 100% hate him because you've seen it, and you know these sort of situations are very true. Um, but two, the way the girl sort of can't decide what's more important for her, like this group of friendship that she's found, or like attempting to finally like a guy. It's a tough decision, and everyone always makes the wrong decision. And thankfully, if you have true girlfriends, they'll take you back. that's always good. Um, the way she sort of imbues her loneliness when she's not skating, and then the way you can just see her flying when she's skating is so lovely. I really, really enjoyed that, and it just, again, I just love the skating sequences. They're phenomenal. And the like true to life girl talk where they're talking about sexual preferences. They're talking about um, whether their vaginas look weird or not. They're talking about how to use tampons. And of course, one girl thinks that tampons will kill you because when we were kids, and I'm sure they still talk about toxic shock syndrome all the time, but they've done a lot to like make it so you don't get toxic shock anymore. Although don't leave your tampons in for like 3 days. That's pretty much how you get toxic shock. Um, but I think this is the second movie I've seen this year that's had a toxic shock syndrome joke. So this is why we need more films by women, because they'll make toxic shock syndrome jokes and we'll all get it, but the men maybe won't unless they've actually paid attention to women when they're talking about their health. Um, what else did I love about this movie? Just everything. The soundtrack's gorgeous. The cinematography's gorgeous. I really loved Crystal Moselle's documentary, The Wolf Pack, several years ago. That was one of my favorite movies during A Year with Women. So I was so excited to see that she had a new movie. And I didn't know if I was going to love it because I'm not a big skateboard person, but I am in awe of, like, sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Graceful athleticism. And so graceful, like, sports I dig. So I dig surfing. I dig ice skating. I dig watching people skate. Like, because I dig dance because they all sort of feel that sort of beautiful rhythm that you can have with the world. And you can see the joy of the rhythm that I don't necessarily see in team sports. Um, that's just me. It's a preference. I just loved all these girls. One of the girls like was always wearing pasties, and that just made me so happy. Like she's just like, this is me, and just the fashion was great. Girl talk was great. I don't know. I really, really enjoyed it. It may be my favorite movie of the year. I definitely, it's. I think the first movie I've seen all year that really genuinely took my breath away. And I'm always waiting. I was actually thinking like it's August and I haven't had my breath taken away by a film yet. Like what the fuck? It's because it was waiting for this movie. So there you go. So if it's playing near you, go see it. It is definitely worth seeing on the big screen. It's so gorgeous and so just electric. Just loved this movie. So this is Crystal Moselle's Skate Kitchen. It was released just this month. It's playing all over the United States, slowly expanding. If you get a chance to see it, you will not regret it. It is a fantastic film.